Good morning, first grade. We have our next read aloud for Wit and Wisdom Module 4. We are going to read Adelita today, a Mexican Cinderella story. You do have a copy of this book, so if you wanted to pause the video really quickly and go and grab it, feel free. I will show it on the screen, but if you'd like to follow along, look at the pictures a little more closely, you do have a copy. There are a lot of Spanish phrases and names and words in this story. So I do have a glossary in the back if you see me, just pausing for a moment and looking down. It does have a pronunciation guide to help. So I will do my best. I'm sure I will not pronounce everything perfectly, but I'll try my best. But as you're listening, of course, our first read through, our first time reading, we want to see what we notice, see what we wonder, and, just kind of keep the other Cinderella stories that we've read so far. Some of those elements that are common to all Cinderella stories, kind of keep those in mind and see if you notice, any of that happening in this story and the story elements. And I hope you enjoy it. This is Adelita, and this is written by Tommy DePaula, who you maybe have read other stories by. Tommy DePaula is a well-known children's author. Has written a lot of books. Okay, so Adelita. Okay, Hace mucho tiempo. A long time ago, in a village in Mexico, there lived a merchant named Francisco and his beautiful young wife, Adela. One day, Adela said, Francisco, estamos a pe rondu un bebé. We are going to have a baby. Adela, Francisco said, me hace muy fe laissez barlo. I'm so happy. Then he said, we must send for Esperanza. She will come and take care of you until the baby is born, and then she will help us with the baby. Esperanza had been with the Mercado family since she was a young girl, and she had looked after Francisco when he was a baby. Esperanza came right away. She took good care of Adela, but after the birth of the baby, Adela was ill. She grew weaker, and shortly after, she held her little girl for the first time and last time. Quietly, she died. Francisco was heartbroken. He named his baby daughter Adelita, little Adela, after her mother. Francisco was sad for his Adela and he missed her greatly. But gradually, Adelita filled his heart with love. Time passed and Adelita grew into a beautiful young woman. La casa se llenó de alegría. The Mercado house was full of happiness. One evening, Francisco called Adelita and Esperanza to his study. My dear Adelita, my good Esperanza, les tengo noticias. I have some news for you. I have met a charming woman and I have decided to marry again. Her name is Senora Micala de la Fortuna. She is a widow and has two daughters close to your age, Adelita. I know you will like Donna Micala and her daughters, Valentina and Dolce. Adelita was happy for her father. Esperanza wasn't so sure, especially after she met Donna Micaela and her daughters. Que frías son. They're cold ones, Esperanza said. Life was happy but different. Adelita had to share her father's attention, but they still managed to have importante momentos, special moments together. Adelita didn't mind that Donna Micaela favored her daughters, even though Esperanza complained. It's natural, Adelita told her. Then suddenly her father died from an illness and everything changed. Poor Adelita was an orphan. Donna Micaela had always been jealous of Adelita. Now she no longer had to hide it. She moved Adelita from her beautiful bedroom to a small room in the attic. No longer did Adelita have new dresses. She had to wear hand-me-downs. Worst of all, Valentina and Dolce were mean and hateful to her. Adelita began spending all her time in the kitchen with Esperanza. She helped her with the meals. She listened to stories about her father as a boy and her mother as a young bride. Because she knew that Esperanza loved her, Adelita's heart stayed as warm as the fire in the hearth. One day, Donna Michaela came to the kitchen and spoke to them. I'm spending too much money in this household. From now on, you, Adelita, will work in the kitchen. You are here all the time anyway. And you, Esperanza, out. I want you to leave immediately. Oh, Senor de la Fortuna, please don't send me away, Esperanza pleaded. I have been with this family since I was a girl. I will work for no money, just for a place to lay my head in a bowl of beans and a tortilla. Oh, please, Mama, Adelita begged. Esperanza can share my room and my food. Out, shouted Senora Mecala de la Fortuna to Esperanza. Then, in an icy voice, she spoke to Adelita. Don't you dare call me Mama again. I am Donna Michaela to you. She turned and left, nose in the air. Entre lagrimas y abrazos. And that means, amid tears and hugs, poor Esperanza said goodbye to Adelita and left with her meager belongings. Adelita was in despair. The days ahead held nothing but loneliness and hard work. Adelita had to prepare all the meals, clean the rooms, and fetch and carry for Valentina and Dolce, who had become more like maldad y vinagre, meanness and vinegar. Mis hijas, my daughters, Donna Michaela said one morning as Adelita was serving breakfast. El Señor y la Señora Gordillo have sent us an invitation to una fiesta in su hacienda, a party at their ranch to celebrate the homecoming of their son, Javier. Ooh, Mama, Valentina and Dolce twittered. And, Donna Michaela said with a smile, rumor has it that he will be looking for a wife. The daughters nearly fainted. Secretly, each wanted to be the wife of Javier, and each would do anything to get him. Donna Michaela, Adelita asked as she poured the hot chocolate, may I go too? I know Senor Javier when we were young. I knew Senor when we were young. I would love to see him again. Are you serious? Donna Michaela asked. Look at you, so poorly dressed, such a dirty face. I would be too embarrassed to have you in our company. You will stay here. Y punto, that is final. Adelita went back to the kitchen. The next days were busy. Adelita did not have a minute to herself, washing, pressing, sewing ribbons on, taking lace off, at the mercy of every little capriccio, whim of the sisters, as each tried to outdo the other. So when Donna, Michaela, Valentina, and Dolce left for the fiesta, Adelita went to the kitchen and sat by the fire. Suddenly, disappointment swept over her, and she began to weep. She missed her father. She missed Esperanza. She missed being at the fiesta. Tap, tap, tap. She heard a soft knock at the door. Who is it? Adelina asked. CEO, only me. It was Esperanza. Oh, Esperanza, I have missed you so much, Adelita cried. Don't worry, or I'm sorry, don't cry. Hold on, got that one. Me Pacatina. No, Pacanita. Pacanita. My little one, Esperanza said. I am here. I have un sueño, a dream. The Donna McCullough would not let you go to the fiesta, so I have come to help. I have borrowed a cart to take you there. But I have nothing to wear, Adelita said. Come with me, Esperanza said. They went to the Cuarto de Lichis storeroom. Over there behind those boxes is your mother's trunk. The key is behind the crucifix. Adelita unlocked the trunk, and inside she found an old-fashioned, beautiful white dress. Under the dress was a magnificent rebozo shawl embroidered with birds and flowers. Oh, mi mamacita, my little mother, Adelita whispered. Adelita washed and dressed. Esperanza braided her hair and wound ribbons and flowers into it. Oh, Esperanza, Adelita said. Donna Michaela will be furious when she sees me. Don't worry, she will never recognize you, Esperanza assured her. Now, vamonos, let's hurry. The fiesta had already begun when Adelita arrived. She walked into the room. Everyone turned to look. The room fell silent. Who was the stunning young woman? Senor Gordillo went up to Adelita. Who do we have here? He asked. I'm in disguise, Adelita said with a twinkle and a sweet smile. Just call me Cenicienta. Cinderella. Javier, everyone, Senor Gordillo said, come meet our very own Cenicienta. Javier took one look and fell in love. He danced every dance with Adelita. He brought her refreshments. He never left her side. Adelita's heart was full as well, and all the meanness she had suffered over the years began to melt. But at midnight, when Javier gave her a sweet kiss and declared his love, Adelita was frightened. How could she explain who she was? His family would never allow him to love a kitchen maid. So Adelita ran away and found Esperanza. They hurried home. I will never forget this night as long as I live, Esperanza, Adelina said. Gracias, thank you. If you ever need me, my little daughter, just call my name and somehow I will hear you, Esperanza told her. The next day, all Donna Michaela and her two daughters could talk about was the mysterious Saciento who had appeared and then disappeared from the fiesta, just like the fairy tale. They were jealous of her beauty and even more jealous because they knew that Javier had fallen in love with her. I'm glad no one knows who she is, Valentina said, or where she is, Dolce said. And no zapatilla de cristal. And that means glass slipper, so no glass slipper. Donna Michaela added, Javier told everyone he would not rest until he found his Cenicienta. Getting stuck on that one. That's the main cinder, that's the word. He is coming to town, hoy mismo, this very day, Donna Michaela announced. He will stop at each house and look for her. This is a chance to show once more what charms you have, my daughter, so prepare yourself. Who knows, maybe one of you will make him forget this. Cenicienta. Adelita, they screamed, come help us quickly. I will be right there, Adelita answered. But before she went to Valentina and Dolce, she ran to her attic room and hung her mother's rebozo out the window. Remember, that was the shawl. She helped the two sisters dress, then she went back to her room and slyly peeked out the window. Soon she saw Javier coming down the street on his horse. Suddenly he saw the rebozo. He jumped down, ran to the door, and knocked. Senora Michaela de la Fortuna opened the door. Ah, Senor Javier! Por favor, come in, please, she said. Senora, where is she? I know my love is here, Javier said. Do you mean one of my daughters? Donna Michaela said. Valentina, Dolce, come here. Senor Javier would like to see you. The sisters appeared in the doorway, giggling foolishly. Buen dia, good day, Senor Javier, they chimed in unison. Do you remember us? Are you looking for us? Yes, ladies, I remember you, Javier answered, but it's another that I'm looking for. There is no one else here, Donna Michaela said. Yes, there is, a voice said. Are you looking for me, senor? There was Adelita standing at the top of the stairs in her mother's dress and rebozo. My Cenicienta, Javier said. Who? What? What's going on? Donna Michaela asked, while Valentina and Dolce looked at Adelita in astonishment. It's only Adelita, Adelita said as she came down the stairs. Only Adelita. Who are you? Javier asked. I am Adelina Mercado Martinez. We knew each other when we were children. Oh, Adelita, of course. I remember you as a little girl, Javier gasped. I'm so happy to have found you again. He smiled. I have asked you to be my Cenicienta, to marry me. Will you? I'm an orphan, Senor Javier, Adelita said. Perhaps you should ask Donna Michaela if she will give her permission. Will you, Senora? Javier asked. Why, I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, well, of course. We shall be honored, Senor Javier, Donna Michaela said. Valentina and Dolce glared at Adelita. Then it will be, Javier said, taking Adelina's hands in his. In her sweetness, Adelina invited Senor Michaela de la Fortuna Mercado and her daughters, Valentina and Dolce, to the wedding. Of course, Esperanza was there too. She was going to take care of Javier and Adelita just as she had done before. And just like sa nisi enta, and her principa, prince, we shall live muy feliz por siempre, happily ever after too, Javier said, and they did. All right, there we go. I really tried my best on that one, so I'm sure I didn't get all of them quite right, but I did try my best. So that was Adelita. And let me know what you notice, what questions you have. Did you notice anything a little different about this story as compared to some of the other stories that we have read? See what you think. Let me know and hope you enjoyed it. And we will talk more about this next time. All right. Thanks, boys and girls. Bye.